Welcome to the call. This is Geek Out Fridays, and I'm your host, Damon Nelson, and I'm joined by my partner, Wayne Atkinson. And we got some special things to show you today. And if you've never been on a Geek Out Friday call, we try to record these. Hopefully, Zoom follows that path for us. But we are we stop at the top of the hour. Okay, so we're going to give you 60 minutes to record it. If you will stay on the call past that 60 minutes, you're going to see some live stuff demonstrated. Now, that's the way that we have been running, but this gardening guidebook is going to take me longer than an hour to go through everything. So I hope you stay with us, but I'm going to go ahead and record everything today. I hope you appreciate that, because what I'm showing you today is how to make a gardening guidebook that people will want to read, and not just another ebook about gardening written by AI. If you want to do just an AI ebook, go to chat and say, give me chapters, and write a book about that, and you'll have a 100-page book. Or you can use some of the other tools out there that it will sound like an AI. But what I want to teach you today is how to put your intelligence, how to put your research all combined together into Bookmaster to write a guidebook. Now, this could be gardening, it could be bookkeeping, it could be anything, but I want to show you a guidebook methodology versus write about this. And Wayne and I have talked about this several times, is AI is getting so smart, and with 4.0 and the new Claude versions and GPT-5 just around the corner, people are still searching on Google, but they're going to be using the tools. Even on your phone, 4.0 mini comes out, and and Claude 3.5 comes out for the phone, and they're both free versions. So if somebody wants to look up what's the best plant, or what's the best hydrangea to plant in Texas, and what time of the year should I plant it, they're not going to go buy a book anymore. They're going to go to chat or their phone and just research that topic, and it will give them a full chapter version of that topic. So what's the difference between that and what we're doing? Writing a guidebook is, in my explanation, is a step-by-step guide and things that people don't think about. So putting it in an organized format, that not only are you telling them things that they're looking for, but you're giving them ideas about other things. You're naming specific plants in this particular guidebook. You're naming places that they can have soil samples taken. So you're going above and beyond what just AI is giving you. You're giving them a guide. And by doing this, the hope is that more people will buy your book, it will be evergreen, and you'll get higher reviews, higher quality reviews. So think in terms of that. Anybody can use our tool, or you can use ZimWriter, ChatGPT, or Anthropic to write an AI ebook about gardening, but it is going to suck, and you're going to get low reviews, and you're not going to make any money. So let's do it the right way to make a guided structure. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Got a lot to cover. Wayne, any last minute thoughts before we dive deep into this and get our hands dirty?
No, but I think the images you've got there on your slide are really good.
Yep. Okay.
Is it AI?
No, these are, Damon did this before the call today on Canva. I'm using Canva. So the 10 steps to a published guidebook. Number one, generating book topic ideas. Guys, this is probably the most important step you could take in writing any type of book, especially a guidebook, is find areas in Amazon, book ideas or book topic, that you have low competition, high search volume, and you're not going to be competing with the encyclopedia guidebook. So I'm going to show you a little software trick that I'm using, and I've mentioned it before, but I think it's worth mentioning, and I'm going to make a bonus training inside of Bookmaster about how to really dive deep into what I call Publisher Rocket. Okay, so we're going to explore some things with Publisher Rocket on this. And just before the call, I've already done my deep dive and found the perfect book idea for gardening. And I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to have this written before y'all would. Okay, we want to research the topic for new ideas and for specific examples, for case studies. How are we going to research it? Probably we're going to use Chat GPT. We're going to build a resource background on the topic. We want to save everything to a notepad, and this is going to go in our resource text. Now, you can use our little simple button. I wouldn't recommend it for a guidebook because I want you to get some good resource text in there, okay? So not only the outline, but you may have some specific information, okay? Then we're going to create the book in Bookmaster. Now, we've only got an hour plus, so we're probably not going to do a full 100-page book because it may take 20 to 50 minutes to generate, and I can't wing it. So we're going to do a smaller book, okay? I've got some great illustrating tips inside of Bookmaster, and then I'm going to show you how I edit. Now, I mentioned Word. Hopefully, everybody has Word you can edit with. Canva has added some stuff in the last month that makes editing a docx so much easier than actually being inside of Word. There's one caveat. They're missing one major piece of an editor, is how to insert a page break. That should have been in the original idea, but it's coming soon with Canva. That's the only thing you can't do. And I got so frustrated over the last 3 days working on this is Canva does everything right except one easy step is breaking pages in half. So we'll talk about some workarounds, okay? Making a book cover. We talked about this in a Geek Out Friday. I'm going to go very quickly over this just to give you some design concepts to use that you can use on all your books. With just a few simple changes, you can have one template and use it for all books. Then I'm going to show you how to write a book description. Now, there is a GPT, I'm going to give you the link and I'll show you how that writes KDP book descriptions. That's the name of the GPT. It does a decent job. It sounds like an AI wrote it. But if you take that and you put it in Grammarly or you put it in Word and then just tune it up with your own words, you've got a really good description that probably would have taken you a little bit of time to write manually. Then you've got your book, you got your book cover, you got your book description. Now we've got to format it properly to go into to make a Kindle and to make a paperback. Sounds simple. You should be able to go straight into KDP, upload a docx or a PDF, and boom, you're off to the races. However, with Kindle, you have to have a special table of contents, okay? And it's got to be linked to the chapter titles and the chapter subtitles. An easy way to make it is with Kindle Create. And I say easy. Kindle Create looks like it was built in 1989 and hasn't been updated. It is the most Web 1.0 that you could get. But it works. It still works. It takes a little bit of time to figure it out. But once you figure it out, it's just manual operation in there. I'm going to show you how to do this. Again, this is going to be a bonus program. I'm going to show you step-by-step Kindle stuff, but we're going to put it inside Bookmaster. Okay, and finally, publishing on Amazon, KDP. This is going to be a lot of work. Hope y'all have a notepad and you're ready to take notes because I'm going to jump straight into the demo. Wayne, any questions before we move?
People are already asking where to get Bookmaster, but we'll have links at the end.
Yep. Okay. So I'm going to hop over to, I got something special to show you at the very end. And let's move the page down just a little bit. And we're going to go into Bookmaster. But before I do that, remember our number one thing, bring my notepad over. So Wayne, you can see this notepad?
No. Yes.
Okay, cool. This is just for me to keep notes. I'm going to have it on the side, but we're going to work on the book idea first. Okay, now I told you a little bit about Publisher. So I'm going to come over to Publisher Rocket. I did some research ahead of the call today because I want to show you my thought process in going through all this. Publisher Rocket. This is what you see when you open it up, and I'm going to do keyword research. Reason is I want to see what people, these are keywords that people type in to find books. And this is an example, gardening for beginners. So the people that are the book writers, book authors, this tells you the estimated average monthly earnings of the top books that rank for this keyword. Okay. People ask, how do you make money with Amazon? Self-publishing. This right here, guys, that's self-publishing right there. Okay. So these are the top 3 earners. This is an average for each of them. Okay. But here's the thing on reading this. Average number of pages, 248, easy. We can do that in Bookmaster, eyes closed. Number of competitors, over 1,000. Would you rather compete with over 1,000 competitors on this topic, or would you rather compete with 100 or less competitors? Okay. This is the competition score right here. Okay. The higher it is, the more difficult it's going to be on page 1 or be in the top 10 authors in that. Okay. 0 or 1 is the lowest and 100 is the highest. Okay. So this is for gardening in Kindle only. This means this is the Kindle version. Okay. This is the and this is the average number of searches. This is how I've got it sorted. So throw away all the ones that say NA. We don't need those. Average price of the books in Kindle and number of competitors. So the term gardening is very, very broad. That's why you don't want to go out there and do a gardening book. You don't want to just say, go into your topic and say, give me gardening. That makes it, you're going to be up here competing with 1,000 and you're probably not going to make any money with it. Okay. So let's look at, this is books only, keyword research, books only for gardening. Okay. I'm going to search come up here by monthly searches, and I'm looking for low numbers. Red means very competitive. The gardening for beginners. If you have a paperback, it's going to be around 200. But if you're in the top 1, 2, or 3, this is what they're estimating is their earnings per month. Okay. Very good. Average price, it looks like, in the 13, 12, 17, 18, 19, 11. So they're not overpriced. Okay. But keep this in mind as we talk about some other things on the publishing side, is how do they get this price low? Because they probably have some colored books in there, colored pages. Okay. Now I'm going to just kind of scroll down here. Gardening. Ooh, here's one at 39, 21, 58. Gardening Zone 5B. Average pages 250. This keyword, this is the golden nugget I'm going to give you today. Gardening zones, and this is hardiness. What this is USDA has printed a publication. It's called the U.S. Hardiness Zones Guide, and it ranks zones from 1 to 10 by temperature, by growing temperature, by humidity, by seasons, and so depending on where you are, you're in a different zone. So zone 5B is probably middle of the U.S. Zone 10 is going to be down by Harlingen or Key West. It's going to be very, very hot, very temperate there. So if you're doing a gardening book by a specific zone, you might be able to make you some money and have very low competition. Okay, so this is one of the nuggets here. Let's jump over to landscaping. I did the same thing with landscaping in Kindle. And then I thought, well, maybe I can do lawnscaping. Lawnscaping didn't give me anything. In fact, if I go by average searches, very low search. So I don't need that, throw that keyword out. But just on the term landscape, what I'm looking for is a golden nugget in here that I can dive deeper into my gardening guide. This is why I'm also spending a lot of time on this specific section, because I want y'all to make money with it. So I'm looking on landscaping on the Kindle book by search volume. It's kind of low search volume here, okay? But that's fine. It's a Kindle only book. Average monthly earnings, not very good. Here's one here, landscaping love, low competition. What are you going to do with it? Well, you can click over here and look at books in this category. Okay, so this is romance and other things. It really doesn't have anything to do with landscape. So I go back here by keyword search, and I'm just kind of looking for the low numbers. Here's Landscaping Magazine, Landscaping with Stone. This is an interesting one, $28 a month. Now, again, I kind of want to make a little bit more money. This is Kindle version. So this is your ebook version. Now, these numbers, they do not include Kindle Unlimited, meaning Kindle Unlimited, if you put it in on KDP and request to be in the special section, that's Kindle Unlimited, you get paid on a page read model, meaning all the authors that have Kindle Unlimited books get paid by every page that is read on somebody's Kindle Unlimited or Kindle device. Okay, sometimes and it's across everybody that's part of Kindle Unlimited. So whether it's fiction books or garden guides or even word search puzzles. Okay, so that income is not reported right here. This is actual people buying the book on Kindle. Okay, but completely different story if you're looking on paperback. Okay, this is paperback sales. Search volume, 3271. That's pretty good. A lot of competitors here. 250 pages, easy to do. 18 is easy for pricing. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of go down here, and now I'm looking here. Okay, Wayne, if you're looking at this and you're looking for a low number and low competitors, which of these keywords would stick out at like a sore thumb? And I'll give you a hint.
Landscaping, design books, and the drought resistance.
Okay. So landscaping design books has a low number here, but high number of competitors. You're competing against 1,000 people here. But what if I'm competing here? This is just being one of my keywords. 45 competitors, 225 pages, 673 a month. That's that one particular keyword, priced at $14. Okay. Let's dive deeper on this. And I'll tell you what I did.
Got a competitive score of 1 as well, so that's brilliant.
That's brilliant. Very, very low competition, meaning it's going to be easier to be a best-selling author or in the top 10, a lot easier than even the 7 up there, or if you look at the very top, the 72 is red. Okay. So this is one I want to dive deep. Drought resistant landscaping. I'm going to click over and see what our competitors would look like. This is paperbacks. Landscaping job order form, lawn care client job book. Okay. These are the top competitors. Dry landscaping handbook. That's the only one that sticks out as, hey, this is a pretty decent little book there. Average age, it's been on less than a year. Number of pages, 172 is $13.99. Monthly sales projections, $140. Okay. This is the lawn care client logbook. So you could see you could make journals, you can make logbooks out of this, but because this is a bookmasher project, we're going to focus on something like that. We're going to build a book. Okay, so I'm diving deep. There's questions popping up real quick on this one. So before you have those questions, before we even get to those questions, I'm going to come over here and drought resistant landscape. I put in here on chat, other term for drought resistant landscape. It only gave me one, xeriscaping. So I wanted to dive deep with xeriscaping. Come back over here to Publisher Rocket, keyword research. So I typed in xeriscaping in Kindle. Again, I'm taking this one topic and diving deeper with other terms related. Okay. Kindle, not a lot of help here, but it is telling me something. Xeriscaping Books, Colorado, xeriscaping Colorado. First person that tells me why this is an important term in Colorado. Just put it in chat. Okay. Yep. Cannabis. Why is Colorado here? It's about cannabis farming. Okay. Big pages. This is only one book. You can be a bestseller, it looks like, a number of competitors if you're doing this keyword, xeriscaping Colorado. Okay. Try more information. I'm not going to do any new search. This is for Kindle. Okay. Here is the paperback version. Xeriscaping Colorado, xeriscaping design. These are all low. Xeriscaping Books, Colorado. Okay. So the focus may be around in here. Now I'm taking it one step further. This is marijuana farming here. I tried indoor marijuana gardening, average monthly earnings. There's 4 number of competitors, 763 here. This is the word container cannabis growing tips. Not a lot. So I'm going to stay out of the marijuana. Okay. And I'm just in xeriscaping and xeriscaping design. Okay. So I've kind of narrowed down what I want my book to be about. Any questions at this point before I go further? Because now I'm about to talk about, we've researched the topic, we've got the book idea, and we're gonna resource the topic to get an outline, to get some ideas, get some case study, get some specific plants, irrigation techniques. So I'm using my brain, not AI's brain here, but now we're about to use AI brain. Okay, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I'm doing on the xeriscape. I started out with, I went and did some ahead of time here. I tried related topics around marijuana plants, small container farming. Okay, it gave me an outline. I didn't want that. Keyword topics similar to marijuana plant. I put all this in Ahrefs just to see if there's any, high search volume for this on Google and in YouTube. And Ahrefs is not even recording it. It's probably because it's got the word cannabis in it, okay, or marijuana. So I'm going to kind of skip out of this. I'm going to go back to my original topic, drought-resistant landscaping. Now, I'm using 2 different methodologies. Find book ideas around this topic, drought-resistant. I'm going to use, this is a special GPT prompt called Prompt Perfect. What it does is it rewrites my prompt to make it a very specific prompt, and then it gives me the answer to that very specific prompt. Okay. This is one way I'm doing it. What I'm looking for is the outline and resource text. So the best way I know about resource text is I come over here to Perplexity. If you don't have this, this is another, I think we got this whenever we got the little orange devices. What were those called? Rabbits. We got a year use of it. We both Wayne and I have a Perplexity API, which is different than the Perplexity chat model that you're seeing right here. Okay. But I put in here, find related topic ideas surrounding this topic, drought resistant landscaping. It's doing a pro search for me. Comes down here. Here's some related topic ideas surrounding drought resistant. So this is kind of giving me some ideas to talk about. Hardscaping elements. Okay. Rock gardens, gravel paths. This is a great little add-on to put in there. Water efficient irrigation systems, native plants, very, very good. Low maintenance, drought resistant. So I've got some is around maybe how I can do this. But then it came down and Perplexity gives you the ability to ask additional questions. So how can I design a drought-resistant landscape that also attracts wildlife? This is one of the options that I clicked, okay? So it has some very specific recommendations in here. Create vertical layering. These water features will attract a variety of birds. Use mulch, incorporate hardscaping, plants in groups, provide shelter. Very interesting, okay? What else can we find out? Which native plants are best for attracting butterflies and hummingbirds? This is great. So I'm diving deep into what might be included into the book itself. Okay, so this is Perplexity. I love Perplexity because it's actually going out, reading the internet, the current version of the internet, and giving me ideas plus references. And I can put these references, citation references, inside of my book at the end using either Word or whatever my editor is. Okay, so native plants for butterflies, bee balm. Okay, so these are great. Shrubs, vines, additional tips. Now it's going to give me some more questions. Okay, so I'm going to get out of that part. So I think I've got some good ideas here, but I'm going to go back over to Prompt Perfect. This is one of the GPTs. Now you can just come in up here and type in new chat, find book ideas around this topic. And here is my answer. The Art of Xeriscaping, a comprehensive guide to a water-wise garden. Now, by doing this, it's given me kind of a book idea, the theme, the concept, case studies, innovative approaches. This is what I need in my book. Okay. Then it came down here and choose a number to continue the chat. This is why I like Prompt Perfect, because it's actually just stepping me through things. So I typed in 1, provide more details on this topic. I know xeriscaping is another term for drought-resistant gardening, landscape, comprehensive guide to water-wise gardens. Come down here. The Art of Xeriscape, a comprehensive guide. Look at this. This actually looks like a book. A book outline. Introduction to Xeriscaping, design water-wise gardens, plant selection, efficient irrigation, soil improvement, mulching, maintenance, personal insights. And it says, choose a number to continue. Absolutely. Share some case studies of successful xeriscape gardens in different climates. Okay. Here's some case studies. Great. Mediterranean. Okay. Then choose a number. Learn about practical tips for plant selection, care, and xeriscaping. Practical tips, choosing the right plants, plant selection. Okay. So I've got a really good idea. Y'all ready to get started? So it is about xeriscaping. I'm going to go into, so we've kind of researched the topic. We've got some background that we can put in there. We even have an outline. So now we're going to start building in Bookmasher. Come over here to my books. In fact, let's do this, Gardening Books. And I am going to click Add. Now, this is my test account that we're doing things with. Okay. We're going to build gardening books. We have 3 different models. I'm going to use the OpenAI, the 4.0 model. And just an announcement, Wayne's got a 4.0 mini is available now to write. If you want to write a quick, cheap book, we're going to have this open up to 4.0 mini. Okay. But 4.0 is what's that?
It's live.
Yeah, but I can't select it yet.
Go into integrations and click Get Models.
Thought I'd done that already. OpenAI.
No.
Come back over here. That's the OpenAI book model. Come down to gardening. Click Add. Oh, that was wrong book model. Okay. And I don't really know the difference. I know this is probably their test difference right here.
I think the G4.0 mini will always choose the latest, but the latest is 2024 0718. So you can select individual ones as we add them, but if you always go for 4 mini, it will always choose the latest one.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to choose that one. I just
Well,
choose.
the latest one is the one that's underneath it anyway. So they both are the same today.
Okay.
But when another one comes out, mini will be the same as the latest one. So
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to do xeriscaping going down here. That's a language. Again, we've got different languages, but I'm going to choose US English because I want to make sure it's certain words will be modeled around US English. And tone, confident, informative. I'm going to be, let's be authority. I'll leave it confident. Informative. I'm going to change it from informative to instructive. This one little change will give you a little bit better on step-by-step guides and numbering things and bullet points is what I have found. Okay. And on using other writing guides. Now, writing in the style of who is Emma Hayes and why does it matter? We have Alex Harper, David Ogilvy, David Ramsey. I think we even have a style of Neil Patel, Mike Rowe. So if you want a further explanation, we've built this. You may have seen this before. Who is Emma Hayes? She is an info smooth. Hayes is an experienced writer known for blending clear explanations, light humor, and make complex topics accessible. I like Mike Rowe because he's the relatable rambler, writes like he's sharing stories over a campfire. This is more maybe whatever style you want, you choose them. So I'm going to choose Mike Rowe on this particular deal. Come back over here. Let's choose Mike Rowe. He's part of the, or he's the creator of Dirty Jobs. He's got his hand in a lot of good things there. Temperature. This is your variation. I'm going to leave it at 0.5, avoid common words. And I'm going to put in here my book prompt. Let's come back over to chat and see concepts. And let's come up here. Now I'm just kind of, the book prompt will get us a good start. Okay, it's pretty good. This is the key to everything right here. Okay, run the perplexity button. I'm going to run it just to show you what it does, but this is not what I'm going to use. It's not bad. We build you an outline. This is in Markdown benefits, examples. This is not bad at all. And if you want to start right here without doing the research, absolutely go for it. So delete that. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to build my outline from here. So the art of xeriscape. So I'm putting in an outline recommendation in here. Come over here to Bookmasher, put that in there. Okay. And let's give it some more detail. So I'm going to just put a separator line. This is more for me. Let's get some case studies of successful. Okay, so it can reference these and come back here, put this in here. Take out the instructions. I don't need those in there. And another line separator. Again, that's just kind of how I'm setting it up. And find related topics. We went in perplexity. Okay. I would probably, on a full-size book, I would probably do this. To design a drought resistant. And so I'm just putting in more context for it. And I think I had one more in the prompt over here. Practical tips for plant selection and care. Okay, recommended plant species. Okay, pretty good. Now I'm going to put that in there. Now you can down here say give specific recommendations. And I like to, and hardscaping ideas, scaping ideas at the end of each chapter. Okay. Now you put anything you want down here, but this is secondary and it tries to do this for you. Sometimes it doesn't do a very good job at what we've seen, but we're also, we were testing earlier models too. So escape engineer. He's going to be an expert.
You don't need expert.
Okay, don't put that in there.
It's in the prompt.
Okay. Xeriscaping landscape engineer. Okay. Now, this is typically what I would be doing if I wasn't being recorded right now and I had plenty of time, is I'm going to put in here about 100 to 150 pages. But I looked over, what do I need to do on xeriscaping? Let's go back to Publisher Rocket. Xeriscaping. This is the paperback version. I need to be in this range here. I've noticed on Kindle. Kindle has, this is one author right here on Kindle. So I wouldn't use 493. I would say between 150 to 200 pages, you're going to be fine in there. So we're going to be good around that number of pages. But because this is a Zoom call, we're not going to do that many pages. I'm just going to do 50 pages. Okay. This is high detail. This is going to actually stretch that 50 into probably 100, what I've noticed. So I'm going to kind of put it right here. This is going to be more general and a mix of case studies and examples. So this is what I want you to test as you're building these books. Test these different, whether it's gardening or whether it's travel guides or anything else, is test this, because it does make a difference in the book content. Okay, so I'm going to do 50 pages to make book active, and I'm going to hit update. Okay, now you can keep hitting refresh, and it's going to give you the title, and then it's going to give you an outline. Once you approve the outline, then you can go grab coffee or do whatever you want with it. Can I answer any questions at this point before I show you something completely uniquely different? Okay, Xeriscaping Wonders. See, it's got both of them in there, and plant recommendations for every region. This is great. So this would be the title, and then this would be the subtitle in Amazon, is the way that I would work it.
Stan says, can you use the gardening book section to create a guidebook on non-gardening topics as well, or is it specific to all things gardening? You use our DIY section is what I would recommend.
Yeah, you use DIY. We have the prompts are built around in the gardening section. They're specifically built around gardening and landscaping. Okay, so let's take a look. Both of these are ready. You get your green button. Okay to continue. Looks like 4.0 is pretty fast. Okay, joy of gardening and xeriscaping principles, designing your garden, selecting drought-resistant plants, efficient irrigation, soil improvement and mulching maintenance, personal insights, case studies, creating wildlife-friendly xeriscapes. If you'll notice, it's reading what we gave it. We gave it case studies, we gave it wildlife. In fact, I probably should have put the butterfly stuff in there as well. But I'm probably going to dive deeper on this after the call and really build this book up again. Okay, so I like that. If I didn't like it, let's just say I want to start over and go, dang it. If I'm looking through it, okay, maybe I do want to put the butterfly stuff in there. Then all you have to do is hit restart book. You haven't hardly done anything at all. You just would say restart book, and it's going to take that away and allow you to put more stuff in here. So let's do, I'll skip that for right now. Okay. Now, once you're ready, you're going to hit the green button. Okay. Now it's going to start. I'm going to go ahead and hit finish, and we can see when it's bold like that, it means it's working. We're using OpenAI. We're using that new 4.0 mini. So I've never even seen any results yet. Y'all are going to get to see it for the very first time. And it's building the chapters, and then it's going to build it's going to start repeating itself. I can just kind of follow along, see content chapter repeat. Whenever it finishes, it's going to go, it's going to be unbolded, and it's going to say completed. But I haven't built any images. So the next section we're going to talk about is some illustrating tips. But while this is cooking, and I don't know if I'm probably going to get a lot more than 50 pages. Wayne.
Yeah.
Are you ready to share something
Oh, if I must.
Okay. Guys, instead of watching this and me hitting refresh, I said, Wayne, can you show them what got us so excited earlier in the week about Bookmasher? And he said, yeah, I think I can pull something together. Okay. I'm going to give you the screen and I'm going to let you share.
Okay.
Before you do that, guys, I want to know what you think Wayne is about to share with us. I'm going to give you 30 seconds here as I'm switching screens here. You put it on a blank tab on yours as you bring it up.
Something amazing, Dan said. Illustrations or pen? No. Shortcuts, Annette says no. Fiction writing? Oh, not just yet, Walt. A quick way to see when it's done. That's on the grid that we just saw. You see content repeat, and then you'll see complete here. Now, I think no one's got it yet, so
Yep.
be prepared.
Okay. This is a coming soon attraction for you. Wayne, you want to share your screen?
Can you see Bookmasher?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so hot off the press, and I mean really hot off the press, like 10 minutes before the call, there was a version that was pretty damn good. It's not live for you yet, but I would say probably by Wednesday next week, maybe even sooner, it'll be live. But we've got to make sure it's doing everything we want first. So it may be about midweek next week. But for those that have got an eye and that wasn't really paying attention when Damon was opening up this drop down, you might have spotted one there. Is the chat going to light up now? It's got admin next to it because that means only we've got access to it while we're testing it in the live environment. So if you go to it, it'll say you've not got access just yet. We're very close to doing crosswords, and I've done one here about England royal family before the call, but it's quite simple. You just click add, and I'm going to let's create one about. Someone give me a topic for a crossword book. Anybody?
How about, well, let's just do zoo animals. I know
We like that one, don't we?
Yeah, you use that a lot.
Zoo animals. I'm going to try Mini. This is pretty quick. We've got UK English, that 3 is fine, and we don't want any AI dodgy words. So it's quite similar to what you're used to. Then in the book prompt, we can just put zoo animals and we can generate a suggested prompt. Zoo animals explore the fascinating world of zoo inhabitants, featuring pages dedicated to lions, giraffes, penguins, and more. Sounds good to me. You are an expert zoologist. Zoologist. Oh, that's not how you spell it. There we go. I'll just do 5 for now. And then we've got number of words per puzzle. I'm going to go for 30. We may not get all 30 in the puzzle, but we might get 28, 25, depending on how we can fit the words in. I'll go for a 30 by 30 grid. And then we've got the slider, but this time it means difficulty. So the easy side would be if you wanted to create one that maybe children wouldn't struggle with. If you visit all over here, the clues are going to be hard. And there's going to be more book prompts, drop downs. The current one is cryptic clues, but we're going to have things like similar to the New York Times or the Guardian, if you're familiar with the UK newspaper. Going to do different variations of how the clues are generated. I'll put this one to easy for now. And then we've got a checkbox that we can either have the black squares in between everything, or we can do away with the black squares. And then you just make it active, click update. Now the system's going to go along and create the title and the little outline for my 5 pages. So already we've got a zoo puzzles, a crossword adventure through the animal kingdom. And here we've got the 5 pages. So we've got majestic lions, roars and riddles. We've got graceful giraffes, tall tales and twists. playful penguins, exotic elephants, and curious creatures. Sounds good to me. Hit the green button, click OK. Now, what will happen is we will create the titles for the pages. We then go to AI using clever prompts to get the clues and the actual words that are going to be in the crossword. Then we move over to Bookmasher's intelligence, because AI at the moment cannot create the crossword. You could spend all day trying to get it to create one, and you might get one every 100th time, but it won't create the particularly the word search. It couldn't create the answer for us, so that's why we wrote it ourselves. So the same for crosswords. We've written the grid generation algorithm ourselves, and it's pretty quick. As you can see, it's finished. So we'll click preview all, and we've got a majestic lines, roars, and riddles. Now, sometimes you'll see that they're not all connected. So by next week, we're having a regenerate button. So you can just click it and it'll just regenerate this one and give you another version of it if you don't like it. If you like them separated like that, like into 3 little sections, then that's perfect. But if you don't, you can click it and it'll just try again. And it's pretty quick at doing it. And then you can see down here, we've got the clues. So we've got 2 down, the powerful sound that announces their presence. So 2 down is probably roar, R-O-A-R. So 1 across, well, the third letter will be O. So 1 across is the king of the jungle with the majestic mane. Well, that's lion, L-I-O-N. And we did put it on easy, and it's done pretty much easy clues. The long hair around the lion's neck, mane, and so on. So let's go to the next one, giraffes. There's the clues. The tallest land animal known for its long neck. Well, obviously that's giraffe. To feed on leaves, shoots, and tender plants, describe it, and etc., etc. There's one that's all completely joined together. And then right at the end,
Wow,
we've got the answers. So the back of the book can have the answers. And there's it is all filled in with the words. So if I go and click on that one, you'll see it. It doesn't quite showed it me all when I've clicked it there, but zoom in a little bit. But you can see we've got family, intelligence, communications, waterhole, elephant, herd. So it's 90% there. We've got a bit of tidying up, that we've got some CSS extra little bits to do just to make it the right sizes and things, and then we can get it exported into PDFs. And then you can all start creating crossword puzzle books. So I think that deserves a oh my God in the chat.
yeah. Yeah, a lot of people excited about this. Now,
So if I go to the one I did before about the England royal family, and then we click on preview. So here we've got the Queen's legacy, and the clues: a system of royal rule, a supreme ruler relating to formal events. So I move the slider across so the clues aren't quite as easy. And then when we've got the other prompts, we'll have cryptic, and we'll have like ones that you can probably do in your lunch break at work, for example, you know, that kind of.
now our idea is whenever you save it, that down and across is going to be text, be a text field, and the title would be a text field. So ideally, the way that you would set up a paperback or a book with it is on the left are the clues and the title, and on the right is the crossword. The way this is designed is books that are designed for large print. Sometimes there's not a lot of competition in the large print crossword genre. So you can actually benefit by having a larger puzzle and larger words in there. So we'll have very specific training. We'll do another Geek Out Friday with the crossword puzzles. but it's going to be exciting. As somebody mentioned, maybe down and across is switched. Yeah, we'll make it so each of those sections can be switched over, and may even have a toggle in there to go US version of crossword or UK
We'll
version.
just say down first and a tick box or something, and
Yeah.
order of clues, down and across, or across and down.
We'll make it real easy for you.
Yeah.
But crossword puzzles, guys, y'all, if I've got my VA is working on word search right now. He's cranking about 2 books a day. I can't even keep up with them. I've already set them up in Bookmasher, but he's having to kind of enlarge the images and do some other things with the word search. And it's once you get this down to a science, you could do it yourself, or you could have a VA do. They should be able to do 3 of these crossword puzzles a day, 2 to 3. Then you need to build the book cover, and then you need to publish. So you could have a whole series, of crossword puzzles that are large print crossword puzzles, and maybe each of your book is about a state in the US or a country. And you could crank out 20 to 30 crossword puzzles within a month. And if you figure out how to get them marketed correctly, one book will lead to other sales. They also, Kindle Scribe is getting to the point now where you can put a word search and a crossword puzzle in there, and they can use the crossword puzzle. They can use it on the Scribe. I know Amazon is really focused on an interactive Kindle version versus just a straight PDF book version of it. Very, very exciting about things that are coming soon on Amazon. And this is really, really cool. Any questions about this before we hop back into gardening? Scott Rogers so would it be possible to do books of the Bible or Romans chapter 5? Yes. And my suggestion to you is try it.
Yeah, just try.
Yeah. This is going to be great to sell on teachers, paid teachers. Absolutely. And for kids and homeschooling, digital downloads. If you will stay to the end, I'm going to show you a little trick I have discovered on, and you may have already seen it because I posted it in Facebook group. Very excited about it though. Let me see where we're at on our gardening. Looks like we're still cooking on gardening. Okay. Wayne, anything else you can show us before we hop back into gardening books?
Not really, but we are close to. Well, I can't give you too much in one Geek Out Friday. Oh, go on. We're close to coffee table books as well.
I like it. Now, there's Stability is coming out with some new. In fact, the Ultra, we haven't even tried it yet. But the way that Wayne writes image prompts, I am so positive that your coffee table book is going to be absolutely beautiful whenever we get it built. Okay. Wayne, I'm going to take over the screen share real quick.
Yep.
Put the screen back here. Because I could probably go ahead and start the next sections. Man, portion screen. Okay. You should see my screen again.
Yep.
Okay. So we're still cooking here with xeriscaping. And while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and show you the book that I published yesterday. And I'm going to go into Amazon. And I'm just going to type in KDP. It will probably bring that up. And bookshelf. Okay. Texas landscapes by region. And it's still in draft mode. Dang it. I've got a live mode here, view on Amazon. And we're going to go US, Texas landscape. Here's the description that I talked about we're going to be building. And here is the title. This looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay. Read sample. Introduction. So I've got an image here. This is introduction, importance of regional specific landscaping, overview of Texas climate zones, understanding Texas soil, which this is really important. If you're in Texas, you understand you have this clay mix and sandy loam mix in this area, and it's very acidic. You have to, especially in the East Texas. So you've got to get your soil right before you get to your landscaping and your lawn right. So they have different soil testing methods, improve the soil quality. So that's what it looks like. I did everything yesterday. So now I'm going to go over to Canva. That's not the one I want. Into Canva. And I'm going to show you the cover. Okay. Canva, here we go. Canva has a document editor now where you can load in a docx and you can output a docx, or you can output a PDF. Why is this important? Canva added AI and they're perfectly integrated with Grammarly, but the ability to put images in here and do anything you want with the image editor part of it is like, I can come over here and edit image, and I can remove things. I mean, you got the power of Canva to edit your images. So this is the Texas landscape. So I got it printed. I downloaded it as a docx, uploaded it into Canva instead of Microsoft Word. Okay. Now, Google Docs, you can still upload a docx, but Google Docs are not very easy to manipulate full images around. If you want to make your first page a full image, you can't do it with Google Docs. And the editing it's hit or miss. Microsoft Word's editing, especially if you've got Copilot, is really nice. But I want to show you what Canva does. Okay. So this was the first chapter, Introduction to Texas Landscaping. Now I can click on Outline, and it shows me the outline. How did I make the outline? Well, I highlighted. I came over here and I said, Quick Actions, make this the heading 1, and it puts it right there. Get rid of that. And this is heading 2. They have shortcut keys, Control-Alt-1 will make this a heading 1, and Control-Alt-2 will make it a heading 2. Now, I don't know why Canva only thinks you need 2 types of headings, heading 1 and subheading. Okay. If you want to take a subheading off and just make it part of the regular body, then you would do body, Control-Alt-0. So you can quickly go through your entire document and make it into a nice little outline here. Okay. Wayne, what did I say at the very beginning? There's a weird deal about Canva that they just don't do yet. Those are all sections. They don't. Yeah, they don't give you a page break in here. Now, you would think you would be able to put a cursor here and then say insert page break. They don't have it yet. It's coming. But whenever you do the H1s and then you save it and you bring it back, it chops your document up into page sections, which is nice. Okay. So I've got Introduction to Texas Landscaping, and there's the first 3 sections of that page. Again, you can do anything you want with this, but here is what I really like is it has Grammarly kind of built in. Texas is a patchwork quilt of climates, each with its own personality and plant preferences. I'll walk you through the main. Okay, that's okay. But I'm going to come up here to Magic Write. I'm going to shorten it, continue writing, rewrite, make it more fun, change voice. You can add voices. If you're not familiar with Neil Sperry, he has been on air with a radio show about gardening in Texas and gardening in the Southwest for about 30 years. He knows his stuff. So I went to Neil Sperry and got some of his blogs and put it into add a new voice. And I put his blogs in here and got a description of his voice. Pretty easy to do. So if I want to write like Neil Sperry, I go to Magic Write, come over here, change voice, let Neil Sperry take a shot at that paragraph. Okay. And he's using a little UK in there. Okay. Think of Texas as a mosaic of climate, each with its unique charm and plant effect. Let's take a journey together through the key zones. Okay. That's okay, but let's just do this. I'm just going to back it up, and I'm going to come over and go magic right, and let's just rewrite it. Texas features a diverse range of climates. Okay. Kind of made it a little bit simplified, I guess. Let's explore the primary zones we focus on here in the, okay, this is okay. I could take that again, go to magic right, and you can kind of, I don't know what sprinkle fairy dust is. Flora, myriad, that's probably it. Primary realms, I don't like that at all. Okay, so you can kind of get the idea. I don't have to show you that much here. But what I have found is, even with our book writer, is we have repeating sections, we have repeating paragraphs coming in on every single section. Okay, it happens. It's AI. We're starting kind of at the beginning. So it also sometimes comes up here with a conclusion, and in conclusion, or the final thought here. So if I want to change any of that, see, remember, these are just the guidelines. This section, remember, working with your region, not against it, is the secret to thriving. I rewrote this, but this is, remember, these are just guidelines. This was kind of on every single section. Highlight it, come over here, magic, shorten it. To succeed in landscaping, to adapt to your specific microclimate. Okay, that's those hardiness zones that we were talking about. With patience and the right knowledge, you can create a beautiful landscape in any part of the state. That was completely different than what we got from Bookmaster. Okay, try it one more time, and I'll just do a rewrite. Okay, this is why I love this Canva, this new doc writing. What I have found with Copilot inside of Microsoft Word, it was going to be similar, but not completely different. This is a really good rewrite of that. Whether you like it or not, it's a completely different paragraph. Give me a thumbs up if you like this idea of using Canva with it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Scott asked, do you need pro?
Oh, sorry, go on.
Do you need pro version? I believe you do to get magic right. Yes. But Canva is so cheap. I think we have a team version. I don't know how we got this price, but it's $99 a year for a team version, which I have my VA on, and Wayne is on, and my wife shares it. So I think we got 4 or 5 people on it using this pro version. But it does have the magic right, and does have this document builder. Okay, now I noticed our book master put this list. There's a list here. Okay, well, I don't want it like that. I want to come over here and make it a true list. So I'm going to come down here and change that to bullets, but numbers. I just clicked it twice. It's got the numbers in there, so I'm just going to delete. Oops. Keep doing this. Okay. Now, I've gone through this with Grammarly. That's why you don't see a lot of Grammarly suggestions in there. That's where I spend most of my time, is fixing this through Grammarly. Here's another one here. If it is a step-by-step, I'm going to leave it as numbered. If it's suggested tips, I'm going to bullet point it. So this is a listicle, and over here, make it into a listicle. Click it again, make it a listicle. If you don't like it as a listicle, you could even make it a checkbox. One more time, it takes off the listicle. So you just cycle through that. Water, fertilize, monitor for chinch bugs, and treat them promptly if detected. Okay. And again, I missed this section. I may have to redo this section, repost it. Okay. Understanding Texas soils. But here's the cool thing. I'm going to just jump in between here. DIY landscaping projects. It goes all the way down here. What do you think of these images? These images have been unaltered. They are straight out of Bookmaster. They are incredible images. Something that we added, and Wayne is very good at building the images on here. So you can see, these are great images. This one it's kind of, it is maybe marginal. Maybe I should have selected another. So here you have the Grammarly suggestions. Let's discuss leaves. Let's talk about the topic. Maybe that's a better one to put in there. Don't forget about your irrigation system. Remember your irrigation system. Okay. I want Magic to let's just shorten that entire paragraph. Okay. Be sure to winterize. Walt said he asked Copilot about this. I asked Copilot. I asked Chat. I even went into the docs of Canva. I even went over here and go, how do you put page breaks in? Walt, I got the exact same description. Is you go to where you want your page break and put /page break. It did not work yesterday. So let's see if it works. Here's what /page break. Oh, spell it right. And they even said there was going to be a plus button, and you come over here and you could type in page break here. Yeah, the instructions, it's on their Glow version, which is a beta version they're using. It has page break working in there. Okay. So where you would want to maybe put page breaks is in between your sections in each page. Okay. If it's in a Kindle, it doesn't make a bit of difference. Don't even worry about page breaks because it's just endless scrolling. But in a book, you would maybe want to put a page break to put these images to keep the image with the title. Okay. Yeah, I went ahead and published this yesterday, but if I want to, I can come in and republish. The images, to me, it just look incredible. Now, when you're looking at the images, if you have it on a Kindle, a regular Kindle, it will make it monochrome. Even in monochrome, the images look pretty decent. If you got a Kindle Color or Kindle Fire, you're going to see this on your phone. You're going to see good images. Yeah, these are great. Reviving damaged lawns, future of Texas. Okay, so we get down to the bottom and we put an appendix. Now, in the appendix, I used Word and I went to Chat and other resources to consider. Not Chat, but Perplexity. So I asked Perplexity, give me other things, and find related topic ideas, find the map. Let's see. That's drought resistance. It's not jumping to the new one. But I'm writing a book. Let's see if I can pull that up. For some reason, it's not switching over. But I went in and asked Perplexity to give me other related sources around my topic. It gave me that, and I just copied it and pasted it straight into the very bottom of the book. Okay. Terms used in this book. I went over here to Chat, and I said, book description, title, book request, build appendix. Here we go. And I asked it, I said, I'm building an appendix. I went ahead and saved it as a PDF, put it in here and said, I'm building an appendix. Can you make a list of plants, grass, shrubs? So it read my book completely. It found all the things I suggested, put them in a nice little category. Okay, I didn't like that. Can you give me a very brief description, no more than 2 sentences? So now I have something really nice to put in the book, and it's from the book itself. So because I gave it the PDF to start with. So that is part of the appendix. Okay, so I have resources, I have the appendix, and we talked about hardiness zones. So I went to Perplexity and see if I can home, find a map on USDA plant hardiness zones. And here's the answer, and here's the image. I clicked on the image, saved that as an image, and I put it in here as hardiness zones and everything with it. But because this is about Texas, I went into Perplexity and I said, got down to the bottom and say, find a zone map of Texas. So that's what it did. It's got me my zone map. I copied that and I put all this stuff down below. So I wrote a really good appendix that is helpful, because if you really want to find what zone you're at, you can go county by county off of this. Now, it would be hard if it's in monochrome, but we go from a 6B down to a 10B in hardiness zones. And this is the 2023 map. Okay. So it also lists specific cities and acknowledgments. So I did make an acknowledgement in the creation of this book. I gratefully acknowledge the assistance of artificial intelligence tool. Specifically, I use Bookmasher. Now, why would I just call out my own product? Well, I'm using Amazon to sell it. Book writing, okay? Perplexity, ChatGPT, and Grammarly Pro. Grammarly Pro, I use the AI in Grammarly Pro, okay? So for initial drafting, idea generation, grammar proof, the review stage. Likewise, they're used to create illustrations. While these AI tools provide invaluable support, I want to emphasize I crafted, revised, and edited much of the content. I researched, I crafted, and I revised it. So my book editor and I did all the review. I am the book editor. So I put this in there because I don't ever want to lie that I'm not using AI. Every author from now on is going to use some part of AI, even if it's just Grammarly Pro to check things. Okay. About the author, put a short bio. And this link goes to my author page. So if I take that link, I put that in there. In the hopes, if somebody likes what they read, they can come over here and go, okay, what else does he have? Oh, he's got landscapes, nutrition, diets. In fact, and all these wild coloring books everywhere. So a little bit, I do have a lot of coloring books in here. And next week, I'm going to have a lot of word search puzzles in there. And the following week, I'm probably going to have a lot of crossword puzzles. All it takes is one good book getting good reviews that you have a lot of people buying. So sometimes you don't want to be the highest price. You may want to just sell a whole ton of books, either paperback or Kindle, so that they'll start coming in review. In fact, I've got some new reviews popping in there. Okay. This was published 2 days ago, and this was published a week and a half or 2 weeks ago. So we will do in the fall, we're going to do a joint training, and it will be a mastermind course that I've been talking to two people that their whole deal is doing best-selling Amazon books with AI. So I want to coordinate with them in doing a combined course with them, showing how to use Bookmaster and then how to be a bestseller. I'm not the expert on Amazon bestsellers, but I know if you have an Amazon bestseller, it sells all your other books for you. Okay. So just some ideas to keep in mind. Let's go back and see how we're coming with Bookmasher. We're completed. Okay. Now I want to show you the illustrating tips. We're at an hour and a half. Hopefully everybody is enjoying what we're showing. And I get down here to the bottom, and before I even get going with this, I know what my outline looks like. I'm going to hit preview all, web gardening. Okay, this looks pretty decent. Okay, but what's missing? Images. Okay, so I want to go escape. I want to come in over here. I'm going to build one called AI, spell it right, and come up Xeriscape. Okay. I'm going to make a folder to save all the images we're going to make. Okay. Watch this carefully. We're going to use Bookmasher. I'm not going to use Midjourney 4. This is a new one that we've added. Stable Diffusion 3 Medium. We will probably, because we're using a graphic engine, we're probably not going to have Ultra in here. So if you want to use Ultra or Stability, you can use these. But what I have found for the landscaping and gardening, this does an incredible job if you do this. Stable Diffusion 3 Medium. So, realism. Okay. Type that word. Don't use any of these words. Use photorealism and resolve all image prompts. 32 records added successfully, and then we'll start going through here, building images for each of these sections. Now, while that's doing that, I'm going to show you, we're going to go back to my Texas book, Texas Landscapes. I'm going to come down here to preview. We got all those images built. And you have this, if you use our graphic engine model, I'm going to show you how you change images. So this, if you've seen the coloring book already, you know you can swap images as long as you're using our graphic engine or Stability with the 4-image pack. So we save all these images. They're all sitting inside of the Texas AI Texas Landscaping Media Pack for you, and you can download them. Let's just switch all these. And this is a good picture, but I got that misspelling. I don't want that. So this is the one I want to use. Good idea of, this is all the different topographies in Texas. And here's one, goofy little Texas state. That's not too bad. It kind of messed up on the state there. That's okay. So I'm going to go back to image one. That's the one I'm going to stick with. And looks really nice. So wherever you stop here, wherever you exit out, it saves the last selected image in there. Okay. Now, if you see all these images and maybe you want to redo one of them, we give you the image prompt right here that you could take to Midjourney, Ideogram, Dolly 3 if you wanted to use Dolly 3. You get a really good image here to go into. I'm just going to take that. I'm going to use Ideogram. It's a little bit, I guess I could use Midjourney. Go create. You can see I've been playing around in there. And I'm going to paste that in there. Now, I'm in the alpha version because I do a lot of content with them. I'm going to go with a landscape 16:9, but I'm going to put it at 16:9. Stylization 300, weirdness. I do want to use raw version, personalized. I'm going to leave that off. This is important. Leave this off because it models kind of after what you like and you've done in the past. Okay, fast, turbo, everything looks good. You can change the variety of your 4, but I'm not. I'm going to jump out of that and hit enter. This is as fast as you can go through this. That's why I like this alpha version, is you don't have to have a lot of the descriptors to go with it. Okay, so refresh. And it's almost done. So if you want to bring over your images to, let's say out of the 4, you didn't ever get a good one. Well, you would generate them here. And then whenever you go into your book, into Canva or Word, wherever you're editing, oh, these are great, great images. Oh my gosh. These do look like a photo. Texas landscape. Wow. Those are nice. Okay. Save these, and you can, when you're in your Canva over here, you can actually replace those images. Okay, let's go back up to, I think it was, so I would replace, I'm going to download one here. In fact, I like that one there. Download. Come over here to Texas Landscape, and I'm going to delete that and insert image. Insert photo. Well, I haven't even tried this yet. I know I'm supposed to be able to insert the image in here.
Just put it in your photos on the side. Can't you then drag it in?
Oh, Wayne, that's just like too easy. So I would hit upload. Yeah, let's come over here and go downloads. There's my image. And I forget I'm actually in Canva. Wow. That looks really good. And
brilliant.
You can even do corner rounding if you want. This is the advantage of being with Canva. So, man, that looked great. Okay. See how easy that is? If you get somebody that knows what they're doing. Okay. And you can change your entire fonts just by coming over here. And I have a Bookmaster style that I like using. So this is the body section. I would just tag that and say I want that as body, and it changes to whatever my body font is I've established for the brand. Okay. So this looks, I really like that image. Okay. Same with here. Now, if you want to, you can export all the image prompts to a text file. So you have all these, and it looks like we probably got about 90. It's probably, that's not 90 exactly because we don't do prompts here. So there's probably 60 image prompts that you can use. Ideally, though, is when I'm looking for best plants for East Texas, it's easier for me to use this and come over here and grab this versus having all the prompts at the same time, all in one place. I just pull them from right there. Okay. So that's the illustrating tips. And I've talked a little bit about the DocX and the Canva editing. And once you're done with Canva, you're ready to go. I'm going to go into share, and you want to do a download. Okay. Because this is a nonfiction style book with images and a bunch of titles and everything, when you do a Kindle book, you have to have a special table of content in it. And the table of content is a hyperlink to all these chapters. Okay. You can build it inside of Word. There's plenty of YouTube videos to show you how to put it inside of Word and do a very special table of contents that's not page numbered, but it is hyperlinked. Okay. Then you can use that DocX and import it in. I had not had very good success without a lot of work going from Word straight into KDP. Now, Canva, when I go to a PDF and go in with coloring books and word search, no problem at all going into KDP. But bringing in a DocX into KDP, it has to be exactly right. So that's why I use Kindle Create. And I'm going to switch over to that. Wayne, any questions at this point? I know we're pushing 90 minutes now.
There's been a few that I've been answering.
While you're checking, I'm going to go back into zero. How we're coming with our new book that we're writing. Okay, it says it's cooking. What cooking means is it's cooking images for us. And let's hit preview all. This is the way to look at where it's without messing it. If you see it's going off track, you can stop graphics processing. This will stop it and won't be building any more for you. But I'm going to hit preview all. I'm not going to stop the graphics. Understanding the benefits of self-sufficiency. This is a nice image right there. Okay. Satisfaction of hands-on gardening. He's got a lot of big plants. So now this is when I'm just kind of clicking through here. That looks good. That's okay. That's not bad. In fact, that's Matt Zimmerman right there. He did join us on the call. Okay. That looks good. Sometimes the people stability just has a tough time with people. Like she's got an extra
an
arm.
extra. It's just silly, isn't it?
Yeah. Her arm's cut off right there. Okay. She's weird arm. Okay. So this is one that I would probably, I'm going to stick with this, but I would probably go back to Midjourney or Ideogram or Dolly and replace this image. Principles of xeriscaping. Those are great images right there. Ooh, that's pretty. They look like photographs. Ooh, I love that one. Okay. So we got some good content coming in. Great deals. Okay. Are y'all excited? I mean, if you're not having fun building books, then you're not doing it right. Because some of these books, you're not going to make any money. You may not make any money at all, but you're going to hit one out of the ballpark, and you're going to write us a thank you and say, yeah, I just got a check from Amazon for $350 for the month because I sold a lot of paperbacks on xeriscaping or Scottsdale gardens. Whatever your topic is, you're going at one of them is you're going to hit a home run. So my suggestion to you is don't stop at one book. One book is kind of like the old commercial with the guy with only one carpet rug or one rug. You're not going to sell a lot. You have to have a whole bunch of rugs to be in business. Okay. So same here. You have to have a lot of books and you have to do some marketing. And again, we'll focus on that once you start building your books. Okay. But now we're going to go to Kindle Create. And let's see. Close this out for a second. And Kindle Create. Okay. You're looking at Kindle Create. This is Amazon's flagship product for building books or formatting the book correctly. Okay. So you would say create new and you would upload the book. Now I've already done that and you can see all these in here. But as you bring it in, you're going to tell it. In fact, let's start here. Introduction. It's sometimes when you bring them in, they're all going to look like subtitles. These are subtitles. These are chapter titles. Sometimes they're all going to come in as chapter titles. So this is the book that you just saw that I built with Canva. And you can't see all this. So let's make this smaller so you can see everything fitting into one screen. Wayne, let me know when you can see all. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Kindle Create. And I'm on this first page. Now, the font here it's part of this, the font setting. This font is not what you're going to see in Kindle. Okay. It's very big, a very large font, and you wouldn't want that in a printed book either. But it's formatted correctly. So this is called reflowable context or content. Okay. So here's why I use Kindle Create, is to get this auto contents built. And I can't even make the, okay. You can kind of see as I go through this, you can't see all the content. There it is. So when you're on a full screen, this is one of the problems. Oh, let me fix this. I think I can fix this. And guys, I have tried out a lot of other models, book formatting model, Atticus, BookBold. There's another one I tried out. None of them are great. In fact, if Canva could automatically do the table of contents, I would just go straight out of Canva. But right now I can. Okay, so let's go back into. Okay, now you can see the table of contents. So all these are hyperlinked to the actual title and subtitles. And here's where it starts. Kindle Create will build your title page. It will build your copyright page. And you can edit the page right here, copyright owner, and it will give you a suggested copyright. Update page, and you can put in other things. This is called front matter. You want a dedication, an epigraph, you want a forward. Maybe you'll convince Wayne to write a book forward for you. Or if you just want a standard page that you put in your own content. Okay. Now, this is the body section. This is when you upload your Word doc. This is where it all flows into. Okay. Then we come down to the very bottom, and this is your back matter. So I have an acknowledgement about the author. See how the formatting is just, it's weird. But let's say that you're in the future. Okay. So to make this, make sure it's the chapter title, is I just come over here and click chapter title. And future landscape. This is a subtitle. I just put my cursor there and click subtitle. Okay. Or you come over here and click subtitle. If I click title, it jumps the page, and I didn't want that. So I'm going to come back over here and make it a subtitle. Okay. Now, once you have it kind of looking, you got your table of contents, you got your title page, your copyright. This is considered your manuscript. Okay. Back matter, acknowledgement about the author. This is ready to go into Amazon as the manuscript. You still need your book cover, but you come over here to, first you want to save it, then export. Export as KPF right here. Okay. Kindle and print format is what that stands for. You hit export. Now it saves it in a folder called KPF inside of Kindle Create. And you will upload this KPF inside of KDP when it asks you to upload the content. This is what you're uploading, is the KPF with the special hyperlink table of contents. Okay. I have just found this is easier doing it this way than trying to get Microsoft Word to work. Okay. So I've gone over Kindle Create with the book formatting. That's all you really need to see. But if you wanted to, you could come in here and do a preview. And I kind of like this is on the preview, make it a little bit wider. What does it look like on a Kindle e-reader or a phone? See, the color comes across on the phone. On a tablet, the color comes across. And you as the reader, you get to choose the font and the layout. So let's say you want to see it in Cecilia 10 point. It's going to redo everything for that. Let's put it back to Bookerly, and we'll do 4. Okay. So the font and the sizing of the font is really dependent on what the user wants. In tablet, you're going to see the full color. Okay, come back over. Kindle Reader, it's monochromatic. The images still look good, even monochromatic in there. Okay, you can do auto advance. You can look at jump to different sections, and so you kind of get the idea. Is you can see everything that you want with this. Okay, so close that out. You've exported it. Now it's ready to go into Kindle. Hey, but before that is I need to go in and create a couple things. So we talked about, here's what we talked about. We got the idea, the topic, we built the background, we built the book, we've illustrated it, we've edited the doc, we made a book. We haven't made the book cover. So how do you make a book cover? Well, again, we talked about this maybe a month ago, how to make book covers, but I'm going to revisit this. And then, but we also need a book description. We've already got the manuscript ready to go in, so we need to do these two things real quick. I'm going to hop over to Canva. I have book covers already made. If you don't know the exact size of the book cover, what I have found out through a lot of trial and error is I make my book cover 12.89 by 9.25 inches. And then inevitably, whatever book I put up, it's going to tell me you need it this size. You can go in and Kindle has a book cover calculator template, cover calculator, binding type. It is going to be paperback. Interior type. It's, we're probably just going to do black and white. Maybe do standard color. A paper type is going to be white paper, reading direction, left to right. Measurement units. Go ahead and give us inches, interior trim size. It is going to be, and this is your call. I'm going to do a 6x9, a smaller book for the garden. Okay. Page count. I think it's probably, we're going to put an estimate. This is when I talked about the first time we did book covers, this is the hardest thing, is getting the right page count in there. So I'm going to say 145, calculate dimensions, and it's going to give you all these dimensions. 12.577 by 9.25 is the full cover. Okay. So if you'll notice, I'm almost there, 12.89 by 9.25. And this is probably going to work. Where it's important is getting the spine right, because it's got to be right in the middle. Anything over, I think, 70 pages on a paperback, you're going to get a spine. that you can type in. Okay. Now, ideally, probably on the spine to make this white jump up is put a dark bar right there. But if you'll notice something, this is my title. I got a little dark shadow behind it to pop the title out, published by. I've got my image in here. I don't use my online marketing image. I just use a very casual image for Texas landscape. Put my short bio, and this is the keyword. This is the KDP description that I wanted to put in there. Okay. So how did I get that description? Over here. And I want to go into KDP, Explore GPTs. You're just starting KDP book description. Yep. There it is right there. Right, a KDP book description. Okay. If you don't have the PDF ready, just start chat. And what's the title of your book? And what did we call this? Xeriscaping. Okay, that was a pretty good title, so I'm just going to copy that and come over here, KDP. No, that's not it. Over here, I'm going to give it my title. Okay, so it made a description straight from that. Okay, and this is pretty good. So I would copy this right here and come over here to my paperback. In fact, let's do this because I don't want to overwrite my own paperback there. Come in here, and this is, if you'll notice, I basically copied my cover page here and just use the same template outline. But I'm going to duplicate this and make a copy and come in here, and I'm going to call it, it's Xeriscaping. Let's come back over here and copy that title again. Okay. So that's the title. I'm going to go ahead and build my title since I've got it in my clipboard here. Copy all that, paste that in there, and I don't need that. Okay, and copy that, paste that in there, all that, make this smaller. So I could probably do 28. Yeah, it's getting close. Let's see. There we go. 25. It's not too bad. Maybe there. We're at 26. And I need to replace this here. So I'm going to delete that completely. Come back over here to my description I just got. Copy that. Come back into the paperback and paste it. Fix it up a little bit. And I'm just kind of playing around with Canva a little bit here and just put some spacing in there. Okay, that looks pretty decent. The bio you can reuse if it's, and you want a short bio that's related to, how does this person know anything about xeriscape wonders? They could care less that I'm in online marketing or that we do Bookmaster or RSS Master. So I would actually rewrite my bio if I'm going to be the person on the book, is my xeriscape experience in here. I have none. It's going to be a pen name in here. It's going to be, Michael Howard or Todd Langton or somebody in here, and I'll make up a bio for a pen name. And I may not have an image. You may not need an image in there of yourself. So let's just go ahead and delete that whole thing. Okay. And you can make this wider if you want to and shorten it up. Okay. There we go. You got to leave room for an ISBN code right here. Okay. So this looks good, except it has nothing to do with Xeriscape. So I have a filtered layer. Go over here, position, layers. So here's this filter layer. If I move it to the bottom of this, you can see that's what the real image looked like. So I'm going to come in and replace the real image with a photo, and I'm going to call it Xeriscape. Geoscaping. Okay, that looks pretty decent. I would come over here and say, make sure they're horizontal. It kind of gets rid of some of the ones that we don't need. And I don't know what is a good one would look like. So I'm going to use, oh, that one's not bad. Okay. Now, it's kind of washed out. So maybe I would choose, let's choose that one instead. It's okay. So I would want to go back to my position, layers, and move my grid on top, move my filter on top. Move this over. So this is below all the content. This doesn't look too bad. I may even want to change the color of these shadow boxes, but this is not a bad book cover. Okay. Now I'm going to come back into, we did Xeriscape Wonders. Look at this book cover. And we're going to start where we first started, Xeriscape. And I think we even went into Competition Analyzer. These are all the books that were about drought-resistant landscaping. And then this is the only one that's published. Okay. Or let's check it out. See what his book cover looks like. Okay. So if you like the style of his book cover, make yours just like it. There's his back page. So he's got a little bit about it. And that's the front cover. And I do like his little badge there. It looks like he has a gold award for something. Plan, plant, preserve. I don't know what it means, but it looks like he's got a gold star. So I may want to put a gold star on mine too. Or I like his colors as well. So I'd come back over here and, you can add stars, anything you want, but I think this looks pretty decent. So come over here and you are going to need to save it as two formats, as a JPEG and put high quality, hit download. And you could save it as a PDF also. Download PDF, print version, not the standard, flatten, and do CMYK. So for your manuscript and for your, especially if you're using coloring books are all PDF, but you want to use the print model versus the standard. Okay. So we've made a book cover very quickly. That's how I change all my book covers so fast. And just as a clue, all my word search puzzles are going to look something very similar to that. So when I get time to do all my other word search, I'm going to have the 100 bucket list. I've got a whole bunch of word search coming in. It's going to be very similar to this. I'll replace that image, redo the description, and redo the title, and maybe change that out a little bit. But they're all going to be easy to read, large content, but I don't change a lot in between. So I'm going to keep a very consistent title and publish. So when you look at these books, they all look very similar, which when you saw my coloring books all look very similar. You get two images, you have wild and insects, wild and snakes. So I made the back wild horses. This is actually a really beautiful book if you like horses, wild horses coloring book. Okay. So we went over book cover. The very last thing I need to cover is you're in Amazon, you're in KDP, got a bookshelf. How do you publish? I've shown you this before, but I'm going to show you real quick. We're going to build a paperback, a book title. Oops, that's not what I want. I'm going to go grab my book title again and try to see. Y'all get your questions ready because we're going to move real fast through questions after I take you through this. Drought resistant. Okay. Series. Is this part of a series? No, I can skip that. If it's part of a series, yes, I'd add it right here. Addition, number 1. I do this because I may throw up a book and then come back and go, I don't want to be the author. So I'll change that and then I'll change the author. But I'm going to go ahead and be the author on this Xeriscape, which I know zero about. I'm going to use this term also, illustrator. Now, if you want to put anybody else in here, this is your moneymaker right here. If you want to co-author, or if you want to sell your book to your contractor, this is where you put his name, Michael Howard. He's a contractor I use that does landscaping in Texas. I'm still going to be the illustrator, okay? But he wants to publish a book about xeriscaping. Now, this is, this is a fictitious scenario here. But if you're selling this, if you just did this gardening book and you're doing it for a client and you've gotten paid for it, this is where you put his name. You got it on the book cover in Canva and you put his name right here. You put the description. We come over here to that, grab that description, come into KDP again, put that in there. And publishing rights, I own, not sexually explicit. Let's say maybe 8 years old to 18 plus. Got to make sure you say 18 plus there, okay? Amazon, choose your categories. This is where you would choose the certain categories that you want to put in there. I use Publisher Rocket, okay? So we know some of the keywords that we're going to be using. Xeriscaping design. Would come over here and do drought resistant landscaping. So I'm going to be using the keywords that I want to try to rank for, and I'll put them into KDP. Now I'm going to go ahead and just choose one right here. What are we building? Because I don't really know. So I'm going to cheat a little bit. Go back to Publisher Rocket and category search. And let's put it in here to landscaping. Landscape. Okay. Architecture, landscape, seascapes, gardening and landscaping design. So books, crafts, gardening, and landscape design. This is for books. If I want to do Kindle, I'd switch categories. Can't remember. We're building books, I think, on this one. So crafts, hobbies, and homes. We're going to do this one to start with. But you could put up to 3: crafts, hobbies, and homes, and gardening and landscape design. And you can even go further, it looks like, by climate, by region, by technique, by flower, container, hydroponics, organic and sustainable. So this would be maybe one of the categories. I'm going to add another category in here. Let's do crafts, hobbies, and homes, and gardening and landscape. And without selecting that, this would be a different. Go ahead. I'm going to go for my marijuana cultivation there. And next one, let's do crafts and hobbies, gardening and landscape, and one more, soils, trees. Let's just do landscape there. Okay. So we got our 3 categories, and then I would put in here, come back over here. I'm not going to do every one of them, but I'm going to do keyword search, drought resistant landscaping. Put that in here. Then we're going to come over here to xeriscaping, and we're going to do xeriscaping designs and xeriscaping. And I would fill out, I would use the keyword search to kind of go in there. And if you remember, maybe we even had butterfly gardens or hummingbird gardens. So I might want to maybe use one of the keywords for that, do a little bit more research. This is really where I believe that you could get some really good keywords to be competitive with. Okay, publication date. Yes, release my book for sale, save and continue. Now, this is where you would assign your ISBN number. You get a free one if you do paperback inside of, there's your ISBN, imprint, independent, publish, and say I want to do standard color with white, or I can do premium color. This is where your prices start going up on the cost of the book itself. But I'm going to do, on this one, I'm going to do black and white on a 6x9, no bleed. You're going to use bleed when you have coloring books that go all the way page to the edge of the pages. This one, it's normal text. So I'm going to also do a glossy cover. So this is where you're going to upload your manuscript. So it's just a matter of choosing the manuscript. It doesn't tell you you can bring in KPF docs, but you can. So I do upload manuscript. You can bring in PDFs, you can bring in Word, or in my case, I'm using Kindle. So it's actually right in here. I choose that and click open. Okay. And I know this is not the right one, but I'm not going to actually publish this. Now it takes a few minutes for this to read it all in. Same time, you're going to do this. You can use their cover creator, but it's kind of cheesy. It's kind of like Web 1.0. And I'm going to do this. I don't have the barcode. I want them to install the barcode. If you say that, they won't install that ISBN we just created. Upload your cover. Now, I'm going to go back real quick. This is a paperback. It needs a print-ready PDF. If it is a Kindle, you need that JPEG. Okay, so I'm going to upload your cover, and I did a download of it. Actually, I didn't do a download of it. Here's the paperback cover. I know this is not the right one to go with it. But once you have that, then it goes out of the way, and you need to answer these questions. Did you use AI tools? I said, yeah, some sections with extensive editing. And what did you use? Please put in here that you use Bookmaster and that you use Chat GPT and that you use Grammarly. Okay. Images, many with minimal or no editing. I use Bookmaster and I use Stability, or I use Midjourney. Translations, I didn't translate any of it, so it's just as none. Now you click your launch previewer, and this is going to take five minutes, but it's going to show you and it will check everything to make sure your cover is the right size. It will also look for trim marks, and it will look for it kind of looks for spelling, but if you're doing a plant book with all the Latin plant phrases in there, it's going to bring up several misspellings, and you just say accept them all because they're all Latin. So anyway, you preview your book. Once you hit approve, then you set your price and you hit the publish button. So we're not going to sit through this checking your cover for quality, and because it's another 5 minutes. I know y'all been on the call for a long time. This is a complete course I'm giving you in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Okay, it looks like we're getting close. Okay, we passed quality check. So there's the book cover. Now, if you'll remember, I haven't edited the book cover, so I just used my Texas landscaping. Okay. So once I'm good with it, I would say approve. And it is ready to go to the next page. Okay, it says it's going to be 302 to actually print the book. Save and continue. All territories, Amazon.com. And I'm going to put in a price of, let's say, $12.95. I'll make $4.75 on it. Okay. 302 for the printing. Now, this would be the time that you can go back and say, well, what would it be if I had a color with standard paper? Now, a color with standard paper is going to give you it's not going to really bring out the detail of that image. If you go with premium color, you're going to be looking at a printing cost of probably close to $20 or $30 right in here. Okay. Big difference. But this is also a 6x9. So you could play around with this, but I'm going to do monochrome, $12.95. I looked at, if you remember, we did about 200 pages. I'm going to be very competitive in the price range. I could probably do $13.95, but I'm going to leave it at $12.95. When you're done, you can request a proof, which delays the printing. It's going to print it, and you'll get it within like 3 to 5 days, but it won't go public. what I do, once you've seen a few of your books and it's a word search puzzle. I don't need another proof version. I just hit publish. Once you hit publish, it takes up to 72 hours to publish. Okay. But once it's published, it is live and you're ready to start marketing it. When it's published, you can buy an author version that's discounted. So you're just paying the shipping cost and the printing cost. I recommend that's the point that you buy your proof copies if you want to. If you do a request proof here, it just delays it going public. But the first few times you do a book, definitely do a request proof because you're going to find things that you just didn't really expect. Okay. I am done. I have just, if you're keeping score, we've done book ideas, topic, background. We've done everything going all the way through here. The one thing I didn't show you, if you've got time, is do you want to make a flip book out of it? Well, of course, I want to make a flip book out of it. So back here in the document, I want to put a cover. I want to put an image cover in front of Introduction to Texas Landscape. I can do it here. What did the topic was at the beginning? The thing Canva doesn't have is a page break. So how do I break that first image? Well, what I found out was print it to your PDF. Save it as a PDF. PDF, standard, and go to letter, hit download, and done. So I'm going to create a PDF here. I take one extra step because this dang thing doesn't page break. But that's fine. I've downloaded the right-hand side of the book for Texas landscaping.
Walt says try /page space break. He reckons it works.
I will do that, but I hope they've changed it since yesterday. It's / page break.
Looks like a slash brings up a menu.
Yes, it does. Let's try the other / page break. So if anybody discovers this, put this in Facebook for me, please. Okay. So it would be nice if I could put a page break right here and put my full image right in front of it and then save it as a PDF and I'll be done. So because I can right now, I'm just going to upload. Here's the PDF. Okay. I need to put an image right in front of it. This is Adobe Acrobat. Edit and organize pages. And I'm going to, there we go, insert page button right there. And on my computer, it is this one right here. Okay. And I think, I'm going to redo this. Insert page. I'm going to use another one because that one was for the Kindle. It's a special size you have to use for your Kindle thumbnail. So I did this one for the flip book. This was half the front cover of the book. Okay, looks beautiful. We're ready to go with Texas landscapes. So once you're done, save a copy. We'll call it copy, save, and it is ready to go. Now, probably I would put a title page in there and do some other stuff. But because we're short on time, let's go to Hazine. And you would go new flip book, browse file, and you're going to bring in the one Texas landscaping. I think it's that one. This is a background here. Now it's building the book for me. Okay. And this one didn't have, I saved, that's not the right one. But you could change let's do this. I brought the right one over yesterday. Come back into and Hazine, you can do your first PDF is free. But I went ahead and bought it. It's a neat little program. So here is what it looks like. It's not what I want. Hit preview. Okay. So this is my backdrop that I chose for this particular print. And this links back to the sales page. So there's the book. I've set it up as a book and open tab. Open it in a new tab. So you've got a complete book ready to go. You can either drag it over like that, or you can sit here and go, just click on this button here. See how nice this looks? And you can put hyperlinks into your flipbook. So this, if you're distributing it, somebody mentioned to teachers, this is a great book to share with teachers, because all it is a link. And you can come up here and go to your table. I don't even have a table of contents built, but you can easily build a table of contents inside your Hazing, along with, if you get the more advanced, I don't think I have it, but you can put videos in here. You can do a lot of different things with this flip book. And the thing I like about it is you can come straight in off of Canva. If you're not in the doc mode, but you're in the image mode, you can build a flip book like that. So let's go out of this. I'll hit escape back over here, and you can see here's my first WordPress word search. And this is set up as a magazine style. So this is really neat. Now you can set it up so that they can actually print these pages out. There will be a little print button. They can share the image. This is my version. So view flipbook, open a new tab. So I have not set it up so that they can actually do social sharing or print the book. Looks really nice.
You could use it to promote the book.
Yeah.
And only have like the first chapter or something. And then
well, and that's what you can do too. So I did that with, which one? I think it was Wild Snakes. Yes, because I've got one sign up already. So I've had 12 views on this already. And what gets me the views is this cover. And let me show you the preview of it. Wild Snakes. And guys, everybody that has a bookmaster can build this. Okay, sign up to keep reading. You can take this part off where it says skip. So if they want to continue reading, you can put your name and email. I think if you have the more advanced version, you can even charge them to read the rest of the book. I would not want to do it. I would just want to use this as a lead gen form. But most people are hitting the skip. That's how I got 12 views and only one registration. These look incredible. This one is one that my VA made for me. Get down to the very end. I got 30 images. I also put in there other books. Acknowledgements. Thank you for your purchase. About me, the author. Made me into a little black and white. And tap into this. And I put this at the end of the book. Order this coloring book page on Amazon. Thought it was linked. Thought that was linked. Let's see. It was linked at one point in time, but I guess I didn't save it while it was linked. So anyway, they can order the book. You don't have to put the entire book in here. This is up to you. I did this more because I wanted good images going across, and the reason is we're building a sales page. So here are the 10 incredible modules that you have access to. And these are what you just saw. So I have a picture with an image linked to the book itself. So they can see exact books that we've made with our tool. And this is Carving Canyons. I think we even went over this. Look at how beautiful the images come out. And you don't actually have to publish to Amazon to put it into a flip book. You can make flip books all day long and use them as lead gens for you. So make sure you got good images. And there's a lot of different things that you can do with these flip books. So anyway, guys, I'm exhausted. It's 2 hours and 25 minutes. And I know y'all are probably all going, when is he going to end this thing? Yeah. Okay, Walt says you're searching for emojis. Maybe at the top menu for,
I'd put a ticket in if I was you.
yeah, I couldn't get it to work. Maybe you can do a video for us to make it work. But anyway, any questions? We are at the point that I can toss this up and go present review, and say present, and say thank you, and good luck on your next guidebook. Can I answer any questions? Thank you, Don. Thanks, Walt.
How do you add multiple authors? I think in the KDP section, you just keep putting names in, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Do you need to have a paid Grammarly?
Do I have to have a paid Grammarly?
Grammarly.
Yes. Oh, well, let me rephrase it. Grammarly will work inside of Canva, even if you don't have Pro. With Grammarly Pro, you have so many more recommendations on what the article looks like. Plus, Grammarly has a very sophisticated AI built in with it. So it can improve the content, it can shorten it, it kind of does the same as what Canva, but you get a little bit different feel. The Pro also has more advanced grammar checking between UK and US. My VA, I pay for his Grammarly Pro. And the reason is he's in the Philippines, so I want to make sure his Grammarly checks it as if he's in the US. So he's checking the same as what he's looking at things the same as I would. So there are cultural differences. Okay. What else?
Do we need to qualify to put things on Kindle Scribe like Amazon T-shirt design? I think Amazon decides whether your document goes on Scribe or not.
Yeah, I have not spent much time with Scribe. I've been pushing Wayne so hard to wrap up these writing modules, and I want us to be good at writing books before we start expanding into all the different things that Amazon can do. Because the most important part at the end of the day, do you have a good book cover? Do you have a good title? Because otherwise they're not going to click on it. And if they order your book, are they going to get good information about the Texas landscapes? I break mine down by zones. I also talk about different plants and shrubs and everything that is keyed around Texas. Good images in there. I want a 5-star rating or a 4-star rating. So if you don't get those, I mean, why go to the next level until you can write a good book or write a good coloring book? There's a lot of opportunity to sell paperbacks. And if you saw that flip book, there's a lot of opportunities with flip books. So hopefully that gives you an idea. We'll probably start talking Scribe and all that down the road, but for right now, we're skipping that.
About it, I think.
Who are they, the best-selling authors? I'm not going to reveal the name because I don't have any contract with them or an agreement for time and dates, but I found them on YouTube and started communicating with them. If you ever want to know how to write a bestseller on Amazon using AI or using any tool, go to Google or go to Google search or YouTube search. If you do that, you will be permanently retargeted so that everything in your Facebook and in your timeline is going to show how to be a bestseller. There's thousands of people telling you how to be a bestseller, and they use that one little trick I showed you about the drought restricted landscaping to find that one little nugget that they could be a bestseller. And there's only 4 competing in there. That's not easy, but that's one of the tricks they're going to show you. Jill asked, how do you use the flip book? I just showed you. This is one of the ways to use the flip book, is putting it in a sales page. Okay. So in the flip book itself, if I go in here, I'm going to go to share. I'm going to go web embed, and This is the web embed for Texas landscapes. And I'm going to come down, and you can embed the entire frame. You just copy the code. You can make it show border, page. But this is what I did, cover. You want to copy image with link or copy the HTML code. I copied that and then went over to my WordPress and I put it in as HTML code. And this is what you see. So I have I've got on WordPress is I've got 4 columns, and in each column I have custom HTML code in the setting. In fact, let's just do that. I use Optimized Press as my builder. So I'm down here, here's what it looks like. So I've got 4 columns in a row, and come in here, and there's the HTML code. I just pasted in there, and I'm going to fill all this up, and real easy to do. Okay, and then you hit exit and update, and you're good. Jealous, can you embed the flipbook on Amazon? I don't think you can. You can put this embed in. I think you could probably even put an embed in Medium. I'm not for sure about Medium, but you would want to put if you're doing Facebook, let's say. This is a good one right here on Facebook. If you wanted to put this on Facebook, you would copy this. You don't need that, but you could copy the cover, paste this into Facebook as a social post. And all it is an image with a link. And the link would take you back. There's your link right there. Would take you back to if they click the link, it's going to take them to this. Okay. So it takes them out of Facebook into a flipbook. You can go out of just about anywhere where you can put a picture with a link. This would be great for Pinterest. I haven't even gone into the Pinterest. Every Pinterest should have 2 or 3 images showing this going into the flipbook with the back page, and maybe even halfway through, a link page to your Amazon book itself. So you're using Pinterest to sell your Amazon books via you're not doing a direct link from Pinterest into Amazon. You're doing a direct link into your flipbook. So this is where you could insert a page in between that had your Amazon page in there with a built-in link. I'm tired, guys. Thank y'all very much for joining us today. Wayne, anything to add before we leave?
No, just thanks for, everyone stuck around the whole time. And watch out for crosswords sometime next week.
Yep. Very excited. We will see you on another call in 2 weeks. Bye for now.